I remember the first time I downloaded TikTok. It was a rainy afternoon, and I was scrolling through my phone, feeling a bit lost in the endless sea of social media. I had heard whispers about this app, how it was taking the world by storm, how it was different from everything else. So I thought, why not? I tapped the icon, and suddenly I was plunged into a whirlwind of creativity, absurdity, and let's be honest, a little bit of chaos. At first, it was overwhelming. The sheer volume of content was dizzying. I was bombarded with dance challenges, lip-syncing videos, and those quirky little skits that seemed to pop up every few seconds. I found myself laughing, cringing, and sometimes even feeling inspired. But then I started to wonder, does TikTok really work? What does it mean for us, for our attention spans, for our creativity, for our connection to one another? Let's talk about the algorithm. Oh, the algorithm. It's like this mysterious entity that knows me better than I know myself. I'd watch one video about cooking, and suddenly my feed was flooded with recipes. I'd laugh at a cat video, and before I knew it, I was in a rabbit hole of feline antics. It's almost like it's a digital reflection of my interests, but then I think, is it really? Or is it just feeding me what it thinks I want to see? It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's tailored content that keeps me engaged, but on the other, it's a curated reality that can sometimes feel a bit suffocating. And then there's the creativity. I've seen people transform mundane moments into art. A simple trip to the grocery store becomes a comedic masterpiece. A day in the life of a teacher turns into a heartfelt narrative that resonates with so many. It's incredible how people can take a few seconds and craft something that feels so genuine, so relatable. But does that mean TikTok is a platform for true creativity? Or is it just a breeding ground for trends that fade as quickly as they rise? I think about the challenges, the dance challenges, the lip sync challenges, the how-to challenges. They're everywhere. And while they can be fun, they also create this pressure to conform. I've seen people who are incredibly talented, who can dance like nobody's business, and then there are those of us who just can't. I tried to learn one of those viral dances once. I spent hours in my living room, practicing the moves, trying to get the timing right. I recorded myself, watched it back, and cringed. I thought, is this really what I want to put out into the world? But then I realized it's not just about the dance. It's about the community. It's about the shared experience. People come together to participate in these challenges, to laugh, to cheer each other on. It's a way of connecting, of feeling like you're part of something bigger. And in a world that can often feel isolating, that sense of belonging is powerful. But let's not ignore the darker side of TikTok. The pressure to go viral, to gain followers, to create content that gets likes and shares. It can be intoxicating. I've seen people change their entire lives in pursuit of that elusive fame. They quit their jobs, they move to new cities, all in the name of becoming a TikTok star. And while some succeed, many others find themselves disillusioned, chasing a dream that feels just out of reach. And what about the impact on mental health? It's a topic that's been discussed ad nauseum, but it's worth mentioning. The constant comparison, the fear of missing out, the anxiety that comes with putting yourself out there for the world to see. I've felt it myself. I scroll through my feed and see these perfect lives, these perfect bodies, these perfect moments, and I can't help but feel a twinge of inadequacy. It's a slippery slope, and before you know it, you're spiraling down a rabbit hole of self-doubt. But then, there are those moments of pure joy, the videos that make you laugh until you cry, the ones that remind you of the beauty in the mundane. I've seen people share their stories, their struggles, their triumphs. It's a reminder that we're all human, that we all have our battles, and that sometimes a little humor can go a long way. And let's not forget about the educational content. I've learned so much from TikTok. I've picked up cooking tips, learned about history, discovered new books, and even found ways to improve my mental health. It's like a crash course in everything you never knew you needed to know. But again, I wonder, is this the best way to learn? A 60-second video can only scratch the surface of a topic. It's a quick fix, a bite-sized piece of information that can be easily consumed but not necessarily retained. As I reflect on my own TikTok journey, I can't help but think about the future. What does it mean for our society? Are we becoming more connected, or are we just creating a facade of connection? Are we losing our ability to engage in deep conversations, to sit with our thoughts, to appreciate the silence? Or is this just the evolution of communication, a new way to express ourselves in a fast-paced world? I've seen TikTok become a platform for activism, for social change. People are using their voices to raise awareness about important issues, to mobilize communities, to spark conversations that matter. It's a powerful tool, and it's incredible to see how it can be used for good. But then I wonder, is it enough? Can a few viral videos really create lasting change, or is it just a momentary blip in the grand scheme of things? And what about the future of content creation? As more and more people flock to TikTok, what happens to the traditional forms of media? Will we see a decline in long-form storytelling, in books, in films, or will we find a way to coexist, to blend the old with the new? It's a fascinating question, and one that I think about often. At the end of the day, I think TikTok does work, but maybe not in the way we expect. It's a reflection of our society, a mirror that shows us our desires, our fears, our creativity, and our struggles. It's a platform that can bring us together, but it can also tear us apart. It's a tool that can inspire, but it can also create pressure. It's a space for laughter, but it can also breed anxiety. So, does TikTok work? Yes, it does. But like anything else, it's all about how we use it. It's about finding balance, about being mindful of our consumption, about remembering that behind every screen is a real person with real feelings. It's about embracing the creativity, the connection, and the joy it can bring while being aware of the pitfalls. In the end, TikTok is just a platform. It's what we make of it that truly matters. And as I continue to scroll, to laugh, to learn, and to create, I hope to find that balance. I hope to use it as a tool for connection, for growth, and for joy. Because in a world that can often feel chaotic, we could all use a little more of that.